The happiness trap. From the moment we become aware of the world around us, we're taught to pursue happiness like it's a destination. Society tells us that happiness lives somewhere out there, in a job title, in a relationship, in wealth, success, or the next big win. And so we run, we chase, we hustle. Yet somehow, even when we get what we wanted, it never feels like enough. This chapter introduces the concept of the happiness trap, the illusion that happiness is something you must search for or earn. The problem with that belief is it makes happiness conditional. I'll be happy when I lose weight. I'll be happy when I earn more. I'll be happy when I'm finally respected. But the moment you attach happiness to an outcome, you delay it indefinitely. This chapter aims to wake viewers up to this mental treadmill. You're running towards something that keeps moving further away, not because happiness isn't real, but because your definition of it is broken. It explains how this search can lead to anxiety, burnout, and a constant sense of lack. Even more dangerously, it keeps you from being fully alive in the only place happiness can exist, the present moment. You don't need to stop achieving or growing, but you do need to stop confusing achievement with peace. The trap is thinking you need more when what you actually need is presence, awareness, and clarity. This first chapter sets the tone for the deeper internal shift that will unfold over the next few minutes. Why chasing feel good moments leaves you empty. In this chapter, we explore the difference between pleasure and fulfillment. Chasing happiness often means chasing pleasurable moments, vacations, compliments, likes, achievements. And while these spikes of emotion feel great in the short term, they fade quickly. The problem is when you start to believe that these fleeting highs are the definition of happiness. They're not. They're temporary hits of dopamine, and when the feeling fades, you're left needing another hit, like a psychological addiction to external validation. This chapter explains why so many people feel unfulfilled even when life looks great on the outside. They've been trained to pursue happiness through consumption and comparison, which always leads to a moving target. As soon as you get one thing, your mind sets a new benchmark. You thought a promotion would do it. Now you want the corner office. You thought love would fix it. Now you need constant reassurance. This endless chase pulls you away from appreciating the present. We also touch on the arrival fallacy, the idea that once you arrive, at some milestone, you'll finally feel complete. But no arrival gives lasting peace if your inner world is ruled by lack. This chapter guides the viewer to see that happiness built on conditions is fragile. True joy is not a pursuit, it's a practice. When you stop seeking external highs and instead focus on what fulfills you at the soul level, life starts to feel meaning, even in the small, quiet moments. The power of presence over pursuit at the heart of this chapter is one core truth. Happiness is not something to be found in the future. It is something you allow in the present. This shift from pursuit to presence is where real transformation happens. Instead of looking outward for your next emotional fix, you begin to look inward. You realize that the feeling of happiness, peace, and contentment already exists inside you. It's just buried under noise, distraction, and unmet expectations. This chapter walks viewers through the mental shift of stepping off the treadmill and simply being. We introduce the idea that joy is not the result of achieving something. It's the natural state that arises when you're fully connected to yourself and the moment. We explore mindfulness, self-awareness, and gratitude, not as buzzwords, but as tools to return to your inner home. Being present doesn't mean you stop growing or dreaming. It means you stop postponing your joy. You stop saying, "I'll feel better when," and start asking, "How can I enjoy what's already here?" This chapter encourages the viewer to practice noticing the small things: sunlight, breath, laughter, connection. These are often ignored when you're too focused on the future, yet they're the purest forms of joy. It also discusses how being present allows you to fully feel, not just the good, but the entire spectrum of life. Because happiness isn't about avoiding pain, it's about embracing life fully without judgment. When you choose presence, you stop running, and in that stillness you find exactly what you were searching for. Cultivating inner peace without external change, this chapter focuses on practical ways to feel happy and fulfilled without changing your job, your relationship, or your bank account. Too often, we wait for life to look different before we give ourselves permission to feel better. But inner peace is not a result, it's a relationship with your thoughts, your values, and your inner dialogue. We start by encouraging viewers to take back control of the meaning they assign to events. Most suffering comes not from life itself, but from the story you tell yourself about life. The practice of reframing, choosing an empowering perspective, is introduced as a tool to reduce stress and increase joy. When something difficult happens, ask, is there another way to look at this? This chapter also dives into daily practices that anchor peace. Journaling, mindful breathing, setting boundaries, and spending time in stillness are all tools that don't require a lifestyle overhaul, but create powerful emotional shifts. It reminds the viewer that happiness isn't loud. Sometimes it's quiet contentment. Peace isn't about having a perfect life. It's about being okay with life as it is while still moving forward. We highlight that when you cultivate inner peace, you stop reacting impulsively and start responding consciously. You make better decisions, you feel more connected, you stop outsourcing your mood to situations you can't control. This chapter helps viewers feel empowered because they don't need to wait for something big to change. They can create peace right now in this moment with a shift in focus and intention. Happiness isn't found, it's chosen. In this final chapter, we bring the message home: stop searching. Start choosing. Life will always be uncertain, imperfect, and unpredictable, but that doesn't mean it can't be joyful. The mistake is thinking happiness lives in a perfect future. The truth is, it's created in how you choose to show up in the present. This last section reminds viewers that happiness is a decision you make moment by moment. It's choosing to slow down, to breathe, to be grateful, to see beauty in the ordinary, to stop waiting for the storm to pass and start dancing in the rain. We remind them, you don't need to find happiness. You need to remember it, because it's not lost. It's been with you the whole time, waiting for you to stop running and notice it. You don't have to wait for life to be perfect. You just have to choose to be present. Choose to be kind to yourself. Choose to let go of what's heavy. Happiness was never out there. It was always a choice inside you.